Hi, and welcome to another Type with Me. This week I want to talk about manipulate behavior of an instance of operator, right? So first of all, I want to go to the MDN web docs, right? The JavaScript documentation of the Mozilla organization. It's a very great reference to check out certain concepts around JavaScript. So the instanceof operator tests to see if the prototype property of a constructor appears anywhere in the prototype chain of an object. The return value is a Boolean value. Its behavior can be customized with symbol.hasInstance, and it's that one that I want to talk about, right? So first of all, how can we use instance? Well, you create just an object, right? And then you see that, for example, here auto is an instance of car, right? Because we do here new car, we can say that it's an object of, or an instance of car. And of course, auto is also an instance of object. So if we run this, we get both true, right? Now, if we go to this one, the has instance, then you see here that we have an array. We have a static symbol.has instance. Here we get the instance itself, and then we say array instance, and this will return true, right? If I here return false, you will see that he returns false, right? So these are great concepts to understand, right? We have here a function C and a function D, and it has a proto chain, right? So if we now say O equals new C, which is this one, then if we say O instance of C, well, that's true because the object gets a prototype of O equals C dot prototype, right? Of course, if we do O instance D, then we get false because D prototype is nowhere in O's prototype chain. O here, which is new C, well, he doesn't have any reference to D, right? So here we have an empty array, right? And it's an instance of array that we gonna ask. The same with this one. If we just execute it, you will see that we get the following result, right? We get true, and on the other line, it's also true. Another great example, and I got it from the MDN examples, is this one, right? So here we have a class, and it has a static is instance flag, and it also has a symbol is instance flag. And then here we have our static symbol.hasInstance. Here we have our object, and then we of course ask in the return forgeable.isInstance flag in object, right? And then here you have your object, and then we have here forge.isInstance flag. We put it to true, and then of course here we will see that we get true, right? So I'm gonna execute that one. Of course, first I need to save it. And I need to put here any. And we get true, right? So we don't need to put, so another thing that you could do is object2 equals new forgeable, right? And of course, if we then say that object2, you will also get true, right? But that's normal, and that's easy. And of course, here we say, oh, object2, which is new forgeable, instance of forgeable, well, it's not there. And that's because, of course, we say here, hey, forcible.isInstanceof, well, is that an object, right? Is that available there? But then if we add to our object forgeable.instanceof, the instance flag true, then of course, and we put here 3. Also, what I want to do is console.log object2, and you will see the difference between these two objects, right? And it's important, of course, to understand a little bit what's going on, right? Here you see that we have the forgeable, right? And then here you see that we have an object where we have that symbol in, right? That's this, the 3. Again, it's strange that you get false for something that's, hey, I have forgeable, and then you say instance of forgeable, and that's not correct because he doesn't have the isInstance flag into it, right? If we then here, for example, just say that we have something like this, name you see here forgeable, name hello, and here we have name hello, and then of course we have this instance flag, right? So another great example could be the following thing, right? We can create a function valid number, which is something that we are going to test our instance of valid number from, right? Here we say that we define a property on object, which is valid number. Symbol.hasInstance, right? And when we get a value here, and I'm gonna put any, and that value is of instance of number, and the value is greater than 1 and smaller than 100, well, then it's a valid number, right? So if I execute this one, you will see here that we get first true, because 10 is between 1 and 100, but for 0 we get false, right? And also here we can put an if statement in our code to use this one properly. I think these are great validators or great things to use within your JavaScript or TypeScript projects. It's another way of thinking, of course, and I think when you know this symbol, it can be of use. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you maybe gonna use this symbol in the future, and let me know what you think about this symbol in the comments below. Thank you very much. See you next time.